Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. It's so lovely to have you with me as always, and I'm doing an audio recording regarding the cool signs and synchronicities of the twin flame journey. Okay, so this is going to be part of the Ascension series, so I'll put it in the playlist there. And I want you to, if you're new to my channel and you haven't been here before, you can check out my playlists and see, there's a whole different variety of things you can take a look at there. So I wanted to talk today about something so cool that's part of the twin flame journey that no one really ever, people don't really go into huge detail about it. But I thought I might like to, and I also thought that any divine feminines or masculines who wanted to add, their take on it down in the comments section, that would be really cool as well, because obviously the twin flame journey is different for everyone. Okay, so what happens to one person is going to be different to someone else, and if we can get a conversation started, it's going to sort of be something that we can all look to and get excited about. Okay, so welcome. Let's get started now. And, first of all, I'm going to talk about number synchronicities. Okay, so, perhaps when you first realized that you were a twin flame, you might have started seeing some number synchronicities. Some people call them angel numbers. Some people relate them to numerology, and it doesn't really matter, I don't think, what your take is on the numbers, but it's really cool to look them up. So, the first one obviously would be 1111, which is a beautiful, twin flame number. It's also the number of awakening, and it can also mean, with the one there, it can mean new beginnings. And I also see 1111 as, the two pillars of, the foundational pillars of a house, I guess. So it's a great foundational number because, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. And 4, as we know, is, a really great foundational number. Okay, so that could be another number that you might see is 444, or 888, or then you might have mirroring numbers like a great example would be 1221, or I'll let you guys write them down in the comments. But just things like 333 or 303 or 111 is another popular one. And you can look these numbers up, and, there's some really great, explanations of them when you Google them. Just type in, angel number, whatever the number is. So angel number 444 or angel number 777. And then you can also type in, number, let's say it's 111, and then type in the word numerology, which is spelled NUMEROLOGY, numerology. And there's some really great answers in there. So that's the first one I wanted to talk about, the numbers. And if you're seeing 717, that's always associated with union. Okay, so if you ever see 717, that's really, really lucky. That's always been a union number for many, many twin flames. Okay, so the next one I wanted to mention is birds in particular. Okay, so, obviously people live in different countries, and so there's different types of birds in countries, in different countries. But that doesn't really matter because, if you look up the bird that you see, that you notice. I mean, you don't need to go looking for them, but if you say you're walking, I don't know, in a park or something, and you notice an eagle, you can Google, what an eagle means. Okay, so I think these birds are really significant because, especially paired birds, like, you might be watching a movie and see two swans. Okay, so swans are highly representative or represented in the twin flame journey. Swans, when they put their necks together, they make that love heart shape. So swans are very lucky. Swans can, definitely mean union is coming in quickly. What else? For me, here in Australia, we have crows and magpies, and crows and magpies usually, can mean messages coming in from your divine masculine. So they're really good. Obviously lovebirds would denote love. And then you've got, owls, which can be for wisdom, and there's a lot of other different types of birds as well. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below if you've seen any birds recently. The other thing in Australia that we have here, of course, is emus, and these are flightless birds which, in the outback, they run along the like the dirt tracks, or out in the open. And these emus, spelled EMU, they don't fly, and they're flightless birds. So if you've never seen an emu, you could Google that. And of course they have a meaning too. So that's really fascinating, as a sign and synchronicity on the twin flame journey, is birds. Of course, then we have animals after that. So, we've got our general household varieties of dogs and cats. But, you might be, you might be drawn to a picture of a lion, or you might be drawn to, something online or in a movie. You might see a different type of animal, like a zebra or a giraffe or an elephant, And so these animals also have meanings. So you can look them up and you can Google those, spiritual meaning of whatever animal it is. Okay, so that's really fun to do, seeing perhaps if a certain animal might be your spirit animal. If you've always loved elephants, perhaps that's your spirit animal. If you've always loved panda bears, that might be your spirit animal. There's a whole heap of them. And there are also animals related to the star signs. So you can look up whatever your star sign is. Okay, so, let's say you're a Pisces, you can look up Pisces and the animals associated with that sign. And you can learn about those animals and see if that resonates with you too. Okay, so the other cool one, of course, is songs that randomly come up on the radio, or if you were on Spotify or YouTube, or whatever platform you're using. I think Deezer might be another one that people use as well. And these songs can come up, especially if you've got them on a random sort of playlist. And so sometimes you might be doing the housework and have your earphones in, and then a song will come on and it'll really resonate with you. And that can be a message from your twin flame, or it can be a message from spirit to you. I don't know, like for some reason I'm hearing, "Don't go breaking my heart." You know that one? "I won't go breaking your heart." I'm not going to sing anymore, but I'm just, for some reason that's coming to mind. And so when I share songs on this channel, that come on, these are songs that have been channeled, that have come up randomly and have meant something. And, I feel that they're for the collective of twin flames that I channel for. So that's the other one, is songs. The next one is Movies. So, you might be sitting down ready to pick a movie and, maybe on Netflix or whatever platform you use, to watch movies. And, or it might just come onto, normal TV, or cable, I guess, if if you're located in the US or somewhere that has cable. And, these movies can come on and you might just pick a random one and say, oh, I like the title of that, or I like the look of that. And all of a sudden, you'll be in the movie, thinking of your twin flame, thinking, wow, this is really strange because, not only does that man look like my twin flame, let's say, but, he said a line in the movie like, I don't know, I'll never forget the way you look tonight, let's just say. And maybe your divine masculine or divine feminine has said, a line that comes, from that movie. Or, the clothing that they're wearing, or, I don't know, the jewelry, or there's something in the movie that just triggers you to go, oh my gosh, my divine masculine or my divine feminine was wearing a similar, I don't know, t-shirt last week, or that kind of thing. That's the other thing that can happen too, is that twin flames can either love the same things or not. So, as an example, one twin flame might absolutely love chocolate, and the other one might say, no, chocolate gives me headaches and I can never eat chocolate. So there can be that duality of where one loves something and the other person can't have it. Or there can be, gee, I absolutely love, curry chicken. And then, the other twin flame goes, oh my God, that's my favorite food. So, you can have these similarities as well. Also, with star signs, you can have a twin with the same star sign. You can have a twin with the exact, sort of opposite sign as well. So there can be duality or familiarity is what you'll find with the twin flame journey. Okay. So the biggest sign, to know whether someone is your twin flame is that, if you get to be on a video call with them or on a Skype, or, if you use a platform where you can, actually look at each other or be in the same room as one another, the chemistry, number one, will be off the chart. You can feel like your whole body is vibrating, if that makes sense. That sounds really bad. You can feel like your whole body's vibrating. In a chakra kind of way, all right? We're keeping this PG for now. Okay, so and then the eyes, of course, the eye contact, and that's where the recognition happens. The soul recognition is always in the eyes. Okay, so for me, I can read auras, I can read, energy signatures, and I can see quite easily whether someone is someone else's twin flame. Although I never really want to tell anyone, yes or no, because I think it should be part of someone's journey to, discover that for themselves. All right. So, any more signs and synchronicities? Okay. Well, I think the next one would be that when you talk to your twin flame or you text your twin flame, you kind of get the feeling that you already know what they're going to say, or you might send the same GIF or the same picture or the same, you might all of a sudden start talking about the same topic. So, you might bring up that, I don't know, you love going swimming in the ocean, and then your twin might say, oh wow, I was just recently thinking how I would love to go to the ocean. So there can be these patterns of thought that are the same, and you can also find that if one has got a cold, the other one might be feeling under the weather. Or if, the one twin has hurt their, I don't know, let's say big toe, the other one can, telepathically, feel it as if they've hurt their own. So it's very similar to, if you had twin people, like people who are born twins, how they feel each other even from a distance. Okay, and they can finish each other's sentences. Although usually in the twin flame journey, you'll find that twin flames are kind of a little bit too polite in the beginning to start doing that. And then as they grow deeper into the connection, they'll probably interrupt and just start finishing the sentence because they're kind of, can not become frustrated, but they already know what the other one's going to say. And so they start, they're like, yeah, I know what you mean. You mean coffee. And they're like, yeah, I was going to say coffee. And it's like, yeah, I already knew you were going to say coffee. So, the other one, which is really cool, is the interests. So, one of the twins, I don't know, might live in India and one of the twins might live in Antarctica, let's just say for fun, right? And the one in Antarctica has always longed to, experience the hotness of India. They've always longed to travel to India, let's say. And, perhaps the twin flame that lives in India has always, wondered what it would like to, what it would be like to go skiing on the snow, or I don't know, has an interest in Eskimos, or, something related to where the other person is in the locality. Okay, so the other sign in synchronicity that's huge is that there's usually a big age gap between twins. It's not always the case, but there sometimes is a big age gap because, the twin flame journey is all about unconditional love. And so any blocks to union, such as age or location difference, or, perhaps if there's, one twin married, or, one twin, I don't know, has 80,000 children and doesn't know how they're going to get out of that commitment. Maybe not 80,000, you know what I mean, right? So these are all blocks to union, and they're put there on purpose so that each twin can come into understanding that, it doesn't matter if there's a location difference. It doesn't matter if there's an age difference. It doesn't matter if, there's 80,000 children born of that divine feminine. I'm only joking, of course, right? You know what I mean? So there's no, love is the only law here. Love is the only answer. And so it's a test. Can you come together regardless of, the status quo? Regardless of, if one or both twins have got partners, can you come together in unconditional love anyway? Can you come together in unconditional love if there's an age gap? Can you come together in unconditional love if there's, children going to be affected by the connection? Can you come together, even if there is a location difference? I mean, for some twins, they're lucky and they live literally, a couple of suburbs away. Which, all the other twin flames who are in different countries go, oh my God, you're so lucky. If my twin lived around the corner, I'd be there in a heartbeat, So that's kind of funny. So, all the divine masculines and feminines at a distance that want to be with their twins are secretly really jealous of all the twin flames that, are literally around the corner from one another, because that's just far too easy. But anyway, everyone's situation is different, of course. And, in my experience, because I've helped a lot of twins come into union, I've also noticed that, sometimes twins look the spitting image of one another. this isn't always the case. Sometimes, they're completely different, and it's, it's definitely the soul signature or their aura that's important. But some twin flames actually look, like if you put them next to one another, it's like you're looking at the same person, or, perhaps even a brother and sister from the same family. And it's very, very, unbelievable to see them next to one another. It's really cool. All right, so what else could we say are signs and synchronicities? I'm going to invite you now, if you feel guided to, even if it hasn't happened for you, just to put it down in the comments so, other people can, see what you're writing and see if that resonates for them, so it can help them on their twin flame journey. I guess the other thing might be that that I wanted to just add before I go was, that they might contact each other at the same time, or, while one's texting, the other one's already kind of looking at the messages or something. And so they, they can come together at the same time, or they can feel each other's pain or happiness. Like if one of them's going through the dark night of the soul, the other one might be feeling exhausted and run down, and it will affect the other twin. So whatever one twin does will affect the other on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, and hang on, what did I say? So in mind, body, soul, and also emotionally, if I didn't say that already. Okay, so there's 4 levels here. We've got the mind, the body, the soul, and the emotions. So all of these things can be affected. And of course, when these are affected, the chakras can become out of balance. So as an example, you might wake up in the morning and think, oh, I feel a bit off today. I've got a headache, and, the new way of talking is, oh, my solar plexus is out, instead of I've got a sore back in the morning, it's, oh, my solar plexus feels out, the new way of speaking, the spiritual way, you know what I mean? So this might not be yours. And also on an emotional level, the headache might be theirs, the solar plexus being out might be theirs, you might be coughing one morning and they've got a cold, and you're thinking, why am I coughing? I haven't got a cold, So I guess lastly, I just want to say, emotionally, you can also feel down if they're down. You can also feel happy if they're happy. All right. You can also feel confused and wonder, why am I feeling confused? Everything's going fine for me. But, you're picking up on their energy from afar or from a distance, even if that distance is just around the corner. We want to slap all of those people with the twin flames around the corner. As I'm joking, of course, but that just seems far too easy. So anyway, I'm sending you love and light and peace from Australia. And if you can comment below on, some of the signs and synchronicities that you've experienced, or if you agree with any of these, it will help others in their twin flame journey too. All right. So I hope you found this good, and I'll put it in the Ascension series playlist, so it can be added to that information there. All right. Have a great day, night, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you love and light and peace this day, and stay safe. Bye, everyone. Bye.